Welcome back to the Jasmine Tea, where we bring you piping hot commentary on your favorite blackity black shows. I'm your host, Jasmine, and today my guest is fellow reality TV lover, Stephanie. How are you doing, Stephanie? Welcome to the tea party.
Oh, thank you. I'm great. I'm great. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited. This is my
I'm
first
excited
time
too.
talking about Bravo on a podcast, and I listen to so many Bravo and just all kind of pop culture podcasts. So,
Now, see, I listen to a lot of pop culture podcasts, but not Bravo specifically. I feel like the Bravo verse is just so big. Like
Mhm.
even when I'm watching What Happens Live sometimes, and I see different people on there, I'm like, oh, well, maybe that show sounds interesting. But I also feel like you can just get so lost in Bravo. Like it could be all you watch. It's so many
Yeah.
options.
I feel like I realized my Spotify Wrapped came up at the beginning of the
Hmm.
and like in 2024, I'm also very much into politics, so I was listening to only podcasts leading up to the election. And then once that happened, and that was a dud, I was like, okay, no more of that. And my Wrapped was only podcasts about Bravo. And I was like, we've taken a sharp turn here. And
Yeah.
we
I,
just refocused on something.
I
I
just
just
need to
get into
detach.
it
I
all
need
in
to
there.
swing to the positive.
Yeah.
I hear that. I don't listen to a lot of politics like centric podcasts. I do listen to I've Had It. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It's like two white ladies, which is surprising for me, but it's like two white ladies who are like not Karens.
Okay.
And they call themselves, one of them is a lawyer and the other one is, I can't remember what she does, but they're like besties and they talk about a lot of different political things.
Okay.
They hate Donald Trump and they talk about like, I've had it with this, I've had it with that.
Uh-huh.
And then other people write in and say what they've had it with and they like talk about it and break it down. And then I also listen to Around the Way Curls podcast. And they do some political talk. Antoinette, one of the hosts on there, she gets a bit political now and then. So I can take it in like
Little bit.
doses,
And
because
I'm
I used
in
to
it.
get
I like to
angry.
be all like I was like knowing everything, and then on now it's just the opposite. I want to know everything about Bro, even about shows that I don't watch. Like I feel like I know the gist of plenty of shows. Mine is probably a below deck, but like all the Southern Charm, Southern Hospitality, even though I don't watch them, I listen to the podcasts that talk about them. So
See, I want to watch. There's an episode, a crossover episode of Southern Charm and Salt Lake City. So I do
Southern
not
Charm,
Southern Charm, Below Deck, Below Deck.
yes, yeah,
They
yeah,
went on a
yeah,
yacht trip. I do want to watch that Below Deck episode.
yeah.
But yes, and I also want to grow up and do yacht shit like Issa Rae one day. The yacht shit. Okay, well, now we'll head on into our What's Been Brewing segment. This is where we discuss what's been going on in the Bravo universe online. What are the people saying? What's the prominent news? Topic number one is Mary Cosby's son, Robert Jr., passing away. That was really sad. I was sad for her because I remember on the reunion, she just said like she would rather him be in jail where he was than dead. So to hear him passing away so shortly after, I just feel bad for her.
Yeah. I was shocked when I saw that. I was surprised. Sometimes on Bravo, like with Bravo News, following so many accounts on social media and just like searching, obviously you see a lot of stuff. And when I saw that on my phone, I was like, that's not true. You think that people are making stuff
Hmm.
up and lying. And then like I took a few minutes, like maybe 10 minutes later, and more outlets were reporting it. And I was like, wow. I was just really sad for him and just sad that I think obviously they did have those conversations and brought his struggle with addiction to light on the show,
Yeah.
in hopes that, and you just believe that eventually he's going to come out of it. He's going to be better and get through it, and that this will be a time where he can show others how he got through it, the whole process. And so for it to be, for that not to be the ending, which is the truth for so many families and so many people who deal
Yeah.
with addiction, is just really, really shocking and sad to
It
see.
is. And it's I was just about to say, and it's sad to see. It's like we're not in Mary's life, of course, but we follow along, like we've been going along with her journey. So to just learn that it didn't work out this way. Like he got a divorce from his wife recently and ended up in jail for like some related stalking related charges to her. So it just seemed like a lot was going on. And I'm sad he had to go like this. But Mary did say, she's happy he's at peace and at least not hurting and struggling anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and she also decided to continue filming. Well, she's not,
Yeah.
I don't think she's filming like immediately,
Mhm.
but they were just about to kick off the season and she decided to still carry on with it. So I was surprised about that as well.
Yeah, I think they were supposed to. I think he passed away on a Monday. It was kind of reported on a Wednesday. And I think they were supposed to start that weekend. So they probably had
Uh-huh.
like a, opening party or something, whatever, on
Hmm.
the weekend. And I think they only pushed it back about a week. So that'll be interesting. I was I was like thinking about it, and it's like the last drama of last season, especially like I was such a Heather Gay fan from the beginning. I really liked her.
Mm,
Like this
yeah.
last season, last half,
I agree. My opinion is just, I feel like Heather's gotten a bit of an ego that has
yeah.
just turned her sour from the
Yeah.
person I just met.
Mhm.
And I'm all for you feeling yourself because, like,
Yeah.
she's made some triumph. She
Yeah.
deserves. But I don't like her attitude or
Yeah.
some of her plastic surgery decisions lately.
Yeah, I think it's gone into the show of, like you said, feeling herself so much that you're just like, oh, girl, please be quiet. And then just making up so many frivolous things. So it's
Yeah.
really interesting for me. I was thinking about like, how are these ladies going to pivot their drama? How are they going to pivot to stop being so produced, like especially her, and just let life unfold? In lieu, I mean, especially with Mary dealing with this thing, like can you stop trying to produce for a minute and just,
Well, that leads me to my next point. I too was wondering, like, oh, I'm sure this is going to provide some people some storylines, like how big of a good of a friend was to
yeah, yeah,
Mary
yeah.
during
Mhm.
this time? How supportive was I to Mary during this time? Cool. But then that brings me to Whitney Rose and her hair. She made an Instagram post, an Instagram story or something, where she shared, and it was like her and her son. It was like they were doing like car drop off or something, and her caption to it was basically like, "So sorry you've lost your son, Mary,
Not
but."
that that bad.
I mean, it wasn't, but in short summation, so
Yeah,
sorry you've lost your son, Mary. I'm here with mine. And so it just came off a bit insensitive. Like the photo with her son, and I
yeah.
understand you're grateful for him. Again, you should be. It's just kind of like read the room. It just felt weird. And when I saw it, I was like, it feels like she's trying to capitalize off the moment and be like, oh, I'm so supportive and thinking of Mary right now. And let me put out some receipts so people can know that I've always been, checking in on Mary and things. So.
I hope that was not her motivation for
I
it.
don't know. That Whitney's a
But
little shaky to me.
I think it was kind of like in moments like this, like hug those close to you. Like I'm reminded of how, hug my son,
I love
whatever.
my
Like
son.
I'm
Yeah.
grateful for moments to be able to be with my son. And I think when I saw it, I was like, and I saw the chatter around it, I was like, you know, is it in poor taste? Because there's just times in social media now where like
Mm.
things like this happen that are close to you or impacting you on your show or whatever, where you just have to be quiet for a while.
Yeah.
And really, that while is not even that long because people move on so quickly. You could have been quiet for a week,
Hmm.
even 5 days, and people wouldn't have said anything. It was maybe like 2 or 3 days afterwards that she had posted this. So it's just like, this is the first thing that you post after he
Yeah,
passes.
that's
Like,
it. Maybe not the photo with the kid, or maybe not something public. I don't know. I also
yeah,
feel like it has to be a tricky world to like
yeah,
exist in because us out here, in the regular world, were already making reports and TikToks and posts about who had even commented on Mary's
yeah, yeah.
post saying that Robert had passed on Instagram or not. Like they were already breaking it down. So what
Yeah.
do you do? Do you stay silent and just shoot her a text? Because that
I
I
think
think
he
that
had said
post
something
or
on the
she
post.
did. They had so many, the whole Bravo universe. So many people love Mary. They
Yeah,
were
yeah,
all there, but I
yeah,
just wonder how awkward that has to be. Like, if you are Whitney, it's like, well, I know I may have already sent Mary a text or
yeah,
sent her
yeah.
flowers or something. Do I also need to say something publicly just so, like, the world knows that I've made a statement or the world knows I'm
Yeah.
thinking about them? Uh,
No, well, I don't even think that was her motivation. I think you really being honest, like as we talk about, the black stuff here, it was just very like white woman whiting, like not
yeah,
thinking. To me, it
that's
was just
it.
not thinking about. It was just centering
That's it.
yourself in a situation that you just should have. Like
Perfect. Yeah,
if you even wanted to just post about you and your son, you didn't have
that
to
would have been
mention
fine.
Mary's son.
Yep, it was
You
the
know, like
union of the two. It was very. That's why I was like, when I saw it, it was just very awkward.
yeah,
Because it's like I know for the most part, outside looking in, it seems like the women are good moms. Like
yeah,
Whitney even dyed her hair red because she said her daughter was getting teased about her hair. So it's not that I don't think you love this cute little boy here. It was just like right
yeah,
now, girl, right
yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you wanted to say I'm dropping my kid off at carpool, you just all you had to do is say that. You
Hmm.
could say love him. You did not have to say
Hashtag
something about Mary.
grateful. Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Sliding on to the internet chatter. Pinky Cole, one of the newest additions to Real Housewives of Atlanta, filed for bankruptcy. I don't know if this week or at the tail end of last week. And so now there's lots of chatter about her on the interwebs and things. Are you familiar with Slutty Vegan? Do we have a Slutty Vegan here in Ohio or in Cleveland?
No, I don't think there's one in Ohio. I'm familiar with it. I've never tried it. I've like wanted to one time in Atlanta, but the line was like way too long, and I was like, I'm
Yeah.
hungry. So I didn't do it. So no, I've never tried it. I don't think there's one like regionally here.
No, it's not. I looked once I saw this. There was one in Birmingham. So
Okay.
before I left home, I did get to try it. It wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't really care
Okay.
so much for the meats. Like I tried a
Okay.
bacon cheeseburger and the bacon was like I
Hmm.
never want to try that again. The
Mm-hmm.
burger wasn't bad. It
Mm-hmm.
was flavorful. I can see how if you're vegan and used to this consistency, this kind of meat, you
Mm-hmm.
can rock with it. The fries were delicious. They
Okay.
had like cheesy fries. Those were great. They had good lemonades. And it was just a vibe, like
Yeah.
upbeat energy atmosphere. So I'm pro slutty vegan, but it was funny watching like other people walk in, like somebody brought their auntie or grandma or something, and I feel like they had to do it on purpose because when you walk in, you're like, "Hey, slut, da da da, slut number something's order for you, order for slut Stephanie." Or if it's like if you mention it's your first time there, they did something like, "We got a virgin." It was like, so yeah. Poor little auntie was looking dazed. I truly think they came there to shake her boots. But nevertheless, Slutty Vegan has been like zooming across the South and becoming a very prominent vegan brand. But yes, now our good girl has filed for bankruptcy and she's being getting slayed before the season even starts.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this new like housewives lineup?
Well, I have a question about the her filing for bankruptcy. I imagine it's not her personal file. Like she's not filing a personal bankruptcy. I imagine
No,
she's
it's Slutty
filing a
Vegan.
business bankruptcy,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually a little like more concerning because it's like how many or which ones are you closing then? Because there's probably gonna have to be some closures if you're filing for a business bankruptcy. Maybe not all of them, but
She's had
there's probably some are closing.
she's had a lot of sticky business related situations over the past
Mhm.
few years anyway, with like people saying they weren't getting paid or
Yeah,
there was some drama at the Birmingham location. It's just a lot of things have been going on over the past few years. So I don't know all her details, but
yeah.
she made so in response to that, she made some social media posts. Like first she made an Instagram post about like basically like she's something to the extent of like what people think happens when you file for bankruptcy, and she was like shivering cold leaving her house as if she was going to be homeless. Okay, everybody's like ha ha ha, you can make fun of yourself. Then she made a second post that was like she dressed up as Miss Rachel and made like a song explaining the different types of bankruptcy and
Mhm.
explaining like which the different types, the one I filed, breaking that down. Now people saying she a little annoying, but nevertheless, she was just trying to let people know. She said whatever type of bankruptcy she filed, it was for restructuring your business,
Mhm.
whatever that means. So that's what she's doing.
Okay.
But nevertheless, just her name being attached to the word bankruptcy is getting her dragged before the season even starts.
You know what? Actually, I kind of like that she posted telling the differences because, like, there's oftentimes I get so annoyed with people online who just run with a word that, like she said, don't even know what the differences are. Like I said from the beginning, I couldn't imagine that she filed for a personal bankruptcy when you
Mm-hmm.
said she filed for business bankruptcy. Okay, people file for big business bankruptcy. Don't mean she ain't got no home or she don't have no money. Like
Yeah.
the business might not be making some money. Like I said, some of them might be closing. Doesn't mean that she's closing every single one of her
Mm-hmm.
businesses. Doesn't mean she's not an entrepreneur or a business owner anymore. She might be restructuring. Maybe some of them are making money, whatever the case may be. Like, so for people to just run with, oh, she broke and that's why probably like she need housewives. That's why she doing
Yep.
this.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
all that. It's just like, girl, you don't even know what you're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
out of people's pockets when you don't know what you're talking
I agree with that. I
about.
agree with that. I'm excited to see Pinky come to the cast. Like her from hair. And she just seems fun. Like I feel like Atlanta could use like a nice shake up.
Yeah.
So I am a little nervous about K Michelle being on
Hmm.
there. I feel like she has a big spicy personality. She kind of gives me like Tamar energy sometimes. Like just
Mm.
say
Oh,
anything,
that's too
just
much.
say that Tamar's a bit much, but
Too much.
they both can get to talking. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to see what happens in Atlanta this season. Let's see how they do.
I so I listened to Carlos King. Do you ever listen to his podcast?
Yes, I like Carlos King. Well, I like Carlos King. I'm sad that him and Candy have beef. Because I like Candy, but I do like Carlos King, the reality king.
Yeah, I like his podcast that he does with on Monday with Claudia and Dustin and this lady Blue.
Yeah, Dustin's on the Friend Zone. He's on one of my other
Yes,
favorite
I
podcasts.
love him. I think he's
Yeah,
like
I
the
want.
best.
He's
Oh,
a he has a comedy tour that he's been
yeah,
doing. I want to see. I would love to go to it. I'm gonna have to keep looking him up, but he seems to like be rocking and rolling with it now. So
yeah.
hopefully, I'll get to attend one.
They was talking about Claudia had made some type of note, and people have said this before too, that like, oh, or Real Housewives of Atlanta is starting to give like love and hip hop. And everyone like jumping down her throat. And they were trying to explain it this week while she said that. And I kind of get why she meant it. It's not the ratchetness or the fighting
Hmm.
necessarily. Because when that last season started, the way it looks, the
Hmm.
color, the cinematography of it, it
Hmm.
feels very much like a love and hip hop for sure
It's
to
given
me.
like fast paced drama,
Fast paced.
not
Yes,
as so
yes,
much, not so much like I'm sitting here making breakfast for my
yes,
kids.
yes,
My husband and I are lounging on the patio.
yes. It's giving like club shots where the club is fully empty and y'all just filming the scene. You know what
Ass, ass, ass.
I'm saying? Which was not the case for Real Housewives of Atlanta. So seeing the trailer for this season, I was like, I understand what she means about it. And I should have watched the trailer again, but I didn't really pick up on it feeling very physical, but they were making note about that too, that there seemed like a lot more physical altercations gonna
I
happen.
think that's what I meant about like K Michelle kind of giving a bit of Tamar energy, just because from like some clips I've seen, they're all of her like yelling or coming
Okay.
out or being big and loud. And even if they don't use a lot of the clips, even just the music they use, I
Yeah,
feel
the
like the
music.
dun dun, or the dun, those low tones that kind of insinuate drama or like a
Yeah.
build up, like something's about to boom.
Yeah.
So even if you don't show it yet, you're still insinuating that like, they bumping heads so much and it's gonna be boom. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, I love Angela, so I'm always excited to see her. I loved her last season.
I know. I like her and her fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I don't know if it's excited is such the word. I know we're gonna get into Potomac, but as I think about the difference in between the two, I'm starting to feel like I like Potomac more and it
I
feels
do
more
too.
housewifey, you
Oh, I
know,
agree with that.
yeah, Atlanta just does feel like a bit of a different show than one that I can enjoy, but I understand it does feel like a departure from our franchise a little bit.
Yeah, I think Atlanta, well, one, Atlanta is just Atlanta. The city is different, the culture is different than the places where a lot of these other housewives are. Excuse me. And I do think what looks like lush housewife life in other places is just different in Atlanta. It is more fast paced. You are going out to more like bars, clubs,
Yeah.
parties, scenes. You are putting those women, they're curvilicious. So yeah, their outfits are more form fitting. You're gonna see more booty, big hair, makeup. So I don't know. That's why I said I'm excited. But I'm trying to. They're bringing in new people, so I'm most interested to see like what kind of vibe is it gonna give. I feel like they've brought in some younger ladies and everybody seems to have like a whole new storyline to tell. So how is this going to work out? Is it? I like what you said about Claudia's point. I agree with her. Is it going to start to give love and hip hop? Because I can't really do love and hip hop. I can't do Bad Girls Club energy.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I hope not, but
yeah.
it is
Me too. I
known.
hope not.
It is known for being like the sassy franchise. You know.
Which is fine. It just you still wanted to feel a little bit like Housewives, and I
How?
don't know. You know what I did think was interesting in the trailer? Shamia was not in it much at all.
Yes, I was wondering what's going on with her in her world now that new people are coming in and what her storyline is going to be
Yeah,
about. Yeah, because she's opened up last season. Like it was supposed to be like Shami is here
I
now.
know. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it landed like that, but yeah.
No. And I'm interested to see what happens with Kelly because now she's
Mm.
one who I think is broke. Like not broke, but I think she doesn't have as much money as she purports to have and or spend. The thing about Atlanta, and I don't like to be a pocket watcher, but it's easy to watch
It's
on
easy to
Housewives.
flex.
It's easy to watch people's pockets a little bit
Yes,
because you
they
can,
flex. Yeah, they're
yeah,
showing their pocket. They flaunt their pockets. It's
they're
part of the
flexing it.
housewives thing. Yeah.
But you're like, and now I've been watching reality TV for probably over 20 years now. It's like now you can get really savvy and be like, baby, that don't make no sense. Where is it coming from?
Or they could just be a brand deal.
Yes, like it's not you're not making that, like we have an idea of what people are making more. And so when Shamia came on and when she said what her husband did, that's why everybody was like, yes,
Hmm.
makes sense. Something
Factual,
is
factual.
real, tangible, legitimate, something
Hmm.
that we know is always going to continue to be needed. And we know
Hmm.
that that's a big old contract when you're putting HVAC.
Airports,
Yeah.
airports, girl.
But like in Kelly, like baby, I also work in hospitality. I work at a restaurant. And I have for years too. Restaurant owners don't make that much money. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, sister, please.
It's a lot of work. It's often a job of passion because they like to cook or they like, they inherit it from mom or something like that. But it's not the most lucrative fit. Everybody's not Gordon Ramsay out here.
Yes, yes, yes. And sister, you don't seem like you are.
Her
Like,
chicken and waffles place was closed. So who is that stopped by Drew? Drew
yes,
made
yes, yes.
a story on Instagram about stopping by because my kids wanted some chicken and waffles. Of course they did, sister. And we came to support Kelly and it's closed.
It's
Ooh,
close.
like knocking on the door, lights. Oh, they're getting closed, girl. So I don't know what's going on, but she also doesn't she have multiple locations? She doesn't just have
I
one.
think she only had like two or three.
Okay, well,
It's not making you hundreds of thousands of dollars. And as we talk about like how much people spend on the glam and stuff to be on these shows,
wasn't she the
how much
one that bought her
oh,
daughter all those purses for her birthday? I
I was
remember
just
that.
like, you're gonna have a bankruptcy, you're gonna have a real bankruptcy story soon, sister.
I it was a lot. Maybe she has other businesses. I don't know.
No, she didn't
No.
seem like she had no other businesses,
She
Jasmine.
did just focus on the chicken and waffles.
And like I
Yeah,
think she sells the waffle mix, but
yeah,
like,
she
girl,
does.
it's not selling at Giant Eagle, like, and it ain't selling more than Miss Buttersworth. So
It's not. Well, we'll find out.
yeah, we'll see.
Okay, our last internet pop craze moment is Nene making her return to Bravo. People are very excited about that. She'll be on an upcoming season of Ultimate Girls Trip. I'm not necessarily. Nene. I recognize her as like the OG housewife, and she's contributed a lot to the housewife, universe here. She's not necessarily one of my faves. She just says and does a lot of things sometimes that I feel like are a bit unnecessary and hurtful.
Yeah.
Um, but she is returning and people are excited about it. What are your thoughts?
I think the capacity in which she is returning, like on this Ultimate Girls Trip, is fine and fun. She's not going to be one of the full-time cast people going around through the
Yeah.
whole trip. So she'll be there when they are in Atlanta, which I think makes perfect sense. I think people made such a big deal about it, and
Yeah.
y'all acting like she's back on RHOA.
Yes. I think the return to Bravo, the whole even just that line, that's just
Yeah, yeah,
a buzz phrase to draw people in. Like, so correct, you did a good job with that. Because now, like you made reference to now before earlier, nowadays that's all you need. People run with it. So
yeah,
all you need to see is a headline to say Nene's coming back to Bravo and people will do whole think pieces.
yeah.
But I did enjoy Ultimate Girls Trip. I watched it, I think I've watched two of them.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of inspired me to watch other Housewife franchises, just seeing
Oh,
some of
okay.
the people on there. Yeah.
Oh, I've watched all of those Ultimate Girls trips. I think they're fun. So yeah, I think it's fine the way she's coming back. I too, it's like, sometimes I call myself a semi-housewife historian. I'm not like
Mm,
Dustin knows the exact episode, but I just have a long memory of having watched them. By
okay,
the
okay.
time Nene was getting to the end, even like towards the middle where she was starting to do Glee, and I think she had taken a season off, kind of, and was just maybe guessing, like guest
Yeah.
coming, but she wasn't a full housewife. She was getting so mean, like you said,
She
just
was it was
so unnecessary.
incredibly arrogant after the viral moment of her stating like I'm rich, bitch, or I'm very rich. After that, it just shifted.
Yeah.
And
And it was like really, yeah, it was just, I don't like when things are just so mean. And I do think she was humbled. I don't doubt some of the difficulties she may have gone through and other cast members and especially women of color on the network. And so when she brought the lawsuit, it's like, okay, that's fine.
because she was really like their first big star,
Yeah.
so I'm sure she's gone through some stuff.
Yeah. And they didn't know what they was doing, all the above.
Mhm.
But for it to have not panned out, and for her to talk such cash money shit, and then, the lawsuit to have not worked out, and that's whole reality reckoning to not worked out. Like I'm sorry for that. I feel bad for that. Did I stop watching Bravo? Absolutely not.
Mhm.
But whatever. So to come back, I think it's fine. I don't know. I think we'll see how it is on the Ultimate Girls Trip. I'm the type of person who, too, is like always ready to move on. Like, I think
Yeah.
that sometimes. people in this universe love to just like stay on the nostalgia.
Mhm.
And I like seeing new people sometimes. It just move like, slowly but surely. I love seeing OGs and stuff, but slowly but surely introducing new people. We have to move on in this world. Like, some of these people are gonna be in their 60s and 70s. Like,
Yes. I honestly, how much of Nene's day-to-day life do we want to be watching
yeah,
and does she have to tell? Like, I know she owns like some boutiques and things. I ain't saying she got nothing to do, but I don't think her life is as fast-paced and worth following around as it used to be.
yeah. And that's
So,
okay. It shouldn't be, you know? So
yeah, she's just such a big OG that people are excited to have her back. So we'll see. I wonder has she been will she come back will she come to BravoCon? I would love to go to BravoCon one day.
me
It looks
too.
fun and messy.
I wanted to go
Um,
so, so bad this year. It's so expensive.
mhm. I'm gonna have to look into it and see how I can save my coins or see pitch myself and see if somebody will let me come on and do something. Can I used to do that a lot when I was like in Birmingham, any event that I couldn't afford to go to, I would just pitch myself or try to like volunteer just to get in. It
Yeah.
works a lot of times.
Yeah.
It works a lot of times.
I'm listening to a lot of my podcasts. People, a lot of them don't get invited. I mean, don't get paid at all to go to BravoCon. Like,
Hmm.
unless you are on the stage, basically, they're like, no, they don't. Like, and I think in previous years they did have some media, like they would let them come for free. My best friend, I tell you, this is one of my best friends from college. She was a producer for BravoCon. She like managed every screen, like with all the pictures and all the
Jeez.
introducing people. And she was like, "Oh, baby, I had to pay for a t-shirt." I was like, so she invited me to come stay in her hotel room, and so I was gonna go, but then I was like, I to spend to go to the different days, it still would have been like over $1,200
Mm,
to like go to, and that's not even going to all of the shows because you go to the during the day and then the tapings of Watch What Happens Live and the big shows at night, and those are separate.
I,
So
I didn't know it was all like individually ticketed. I thought it was like I'm buying a ticket to BravoCon
you
and now
can
I'm
buy a
here.
full ticket.
Yeah, but it's probably quite expensive
Yeah,
if
yeah,
they're a la carte and stuff.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe we can make an a la carte plan.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was like. And then I was like, okay, if I do go, which ones do I want to go to? And then like,
Mhm.
no, but she was like, well, you can come, but I'm gonna be busy. So I was like, I'm gonna have nobody to go with,
It's
So,
okay. We'll look at BravoCon 2027 and
yeah,
we'll make an a la carte plan. Just I agree. That's what I was thinking about too. Like, one of the things I'm working on this year is taking solo trips,
yeah.
and I was looking at taking a Virgin Voyages
Mm.
cruise, adult cruise for my birthday. But the ones around my birthday were all 7 days. And
Okay.
I'm down for some solo time, but
Yeah.
7 whole days with nobody to just, no person to just turn to and talk to. I can't do that.
Yeah.
And so much is likely going to be going on at BravoCon. I want to like turn around and talk shit or
Yeah.
I understand.
I have that on my bucket list too. Literally a Virgin Voyages cruise by
Oh,
myself.
yay.
And I want to do more things by myself too, and just like make friends. Like I had posted on threads, like, are any Black women going to BravoCon by themselves? But like nobody replied to my thread. So
I'm not even on threads. It sounds like it's just Instagram's Twitter, and I just don't want another thing.
yeah.
That's all.
It's so seamlessly in the Instagram. So that's why
And
I
you
found
can't like disconnect it. Like once you get on threads, you're on threads. That's it. So
they have you.
yeah, let's slide into our commercial break. If
Okay.
you like what you're listening to, remember to follow the Jasmine Tea, all one word, on YouTube to see our expressions, reactions, and graphics in action. Then leave us a review on your streaming platform. We love hearing from you and want to make sure that you're getting relatable content. Now, back to the show. It's time for our piping hot moments. These are some standout scenes or topics from across the Bravo universe here. I'm going to start to Married to Medicine. I know you said you haven't caught up on this season, but we're going to keep it kind of general here. Are you aware of like they got new people on the cast and they did a bit of shakeup like we just said?
I
Okay.
watch clips. This is little, I used to be like, Married to Medicine is my favorite show. I used to be
Mm,
ringing the bell saying Married to Medicine is the best show on Bravo, blah, blah. And I
it's
don't know
good.
why. I just have not gotten into it this season. Like I just had a lot of TV to watch. So
That's why I said I'm a little nervous about watching more Bravo shows because I feel like I could just become all Bravo.
yeah,
I feel like Married to Medicine. I was happy to see new people on this season. I feel
yeah,
like they were getting to a point like you just kind of made reference to earlier about like we just need to shake it up.
yeah,
Like Dr. Jackie and Curtis, even
yeah.
Toya and Eugene, like some of those same storylines. it's like it's the same you every season.
Yeah.
Like it's the
Yeah.
same you. So I was happy to see some new people come in. They had Angel,
Mhm.
Doctor, is it Doctor Mimi,
Mhm.
and her husband. I really like them.
He's
Um,
from, or I don't know if he's from Cleveland, but he played for
oh,
the Browns for a while.
okay, all right, that's lovely. And it was somebody else who's another. She's very skinny and
Um,
single. Let me look on here.
no, Angel is the one who's single and skinny.
No, Angel's the thick curvy girl. Think what called? Wait, is Angel on Potomac? Angel's on Potomac. Ooh,
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
bad.
It,
See, on my wire.
what is her name? My friend used to go to her, that other doctor. She's a
Let's
doctor.
see. I'm gonna pull it up.
She's married.
Okay, we got Quad. Who?
Brandy.
Brandy. Oh yeah, that's it. Brandy. Oh, Contessa. How do you feel about Contessa being back? I wasn't excited at first, but I liked her a lot this season. Like this is actually probably the first season I can actually say I've enjoyed Contessa.
I've never minded Contessa. I don't understand why people didn't like it. I mean, that one
Contessa is
season,
annoying and cheesy, man.
she's what?
I find Contessa to be annoying and cheesy. And I was very confused by her when she was like first coming on the show and dragging her husband Scott, but then getting mad at everybody else when they was like, "Hey girl, remember all this stuff you said about Scott?" I didn't understand that. Contessa's a bit spotty to me. But this season, I don't know.
She was just mad at Heavenly for being such a shitty friend
Yeah,
about,
Heavenly's pretty horrible. I'm surprised that Heavenly has been on here so long, being so horrible to people. I'm surprised nobody's hit her. Not saying they should, but like, I'm
no.
surprised she says such vile things sometimes. It's just to
I think
me,
that's actually, oh, sorry, go ahead.
it's hard to. I don't think I could ever be on one of these shows because of stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I can't take. I'm your friend right now. You said something crazy. Now I'm not your friend. But oh, let's go to lunch, and now we'll make up, and now we're friends again.
No, I think that's why I actually stopped watching it because I watched about half of last season and I stopped actually when they were in, I want to say Texas maybe, and
Mm,
Contessa and Heavenly were getting into it, and Heavenly was like talking about Contessa's mother who's been dead, and it's just like she's just so mean, and I
mhm,
don't find that entertaining at all. Like
I agree.
I don't like it.
I think and I feel like the rest of the cast have become so passive about it. It's just like, oh,
Yeah,
that's Heavenly. Oh, that's
yeah,
Heavenly.
yeah,
You are the people who would have to
yeah.
hold her accountable in these settings. Nobody's saying that. It's like everybody's scared of her. Like I don't understand that. And I like Dr. Damon. He seems like a nice guy. I think he would take care of me if I came to his office. But he is so passive towards her actions as well. It's just like, hey, buddy, it's so much of his energy is like fee fi fo fum, I'm the man, I'm the man. But your wife is out here like it's causing such chaos and saying such vile things. Like I ain't saying you got to put her in her place. I don't like that notion when folks like I need a man that's gonna put me in my place. Don't do that. But hey, can you say something? Like, are you just totally
Yeah.
cool with it? He's always just like, oh, that's the women's business. Your wife is wretched sometimes, bro.
She's terrible and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like I understand making a TV show, but that is you. That's who you are to go that deep.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have to go that deep and say such terrible things all the time for a show. That's nothing that you're just turning on and off for entertainment value. So
I
that's just who
agree.
you are. And yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense how Jackie acts like I think Jackie is the type of person who doesn't care because it doesn't come to her.
Yeah, Jackie, she's supposed to be like the peacemaker. I think she's just passive as well. And Jackie kind of gets on my nerves with her hyper religious attitude around some things. And her and Curtis's marriage kind of irks me. There's some clips coming up where Curtis is talking to somebody about like he's talking to King, like Quad's boyfriend, about how they may be having issues because they're not married and living together and outside of God's will. I'm like, this coming from Cheater Cheater Pumpkin Eater, all out in the airport in public. Okay, hot and kettle.
Funny because it's like, when do we allow ourselves to forgive people who have made
Oh, I
indiscreet?
never. Don't look to me for it, baby. I am aware of forgiveness. I'm aware of the concept. I rarely do I ever. I definitely don't forget. You do have, to, and it's not my burden to carry. But I don't ever feel like I don't know. Looking at their situation, it didn't even seem to me like Jackie even really held him adequately accountable. it seemed like she was just embedded in the religious mindset that we're not going to divorce. And so
Yeah.
she was the one to make a lot of
Yeah.
concessions in
Yeah.
order for them to remain married. And the
Yeah.
way I feel like some of her spending after, like getting a new house, and some of her newer purchases and things have been to help kind of like absolve that. Like, oh no, I don't want to live in this house you cheated on me in. Fair. And I'm just gonna focus on money because I can take care of myself and buy all these new things. But I never liked Curtis from the very first season when Jackie was asking him if they could adopt a child, and he just
Yeah.
shot her down like that. Especially since he's already a parent, and the woman has had breast cancer twice, and
He is a
he
big.
already has a kid. He has like a daughter at least or something. So he
Oh, I
already
never knew he had kids.
he already has a child. Jackie has no one. She's had breast cancer twice, and I'm pretty sure when y'all got married, you knew she wanted kids.
A kid.
So it just seemed very insensitive to me, and I feel like that had a big impact on their marriage too. Like you mad she's always at work, but she told you I want to come home to a family and kid. And coming home to you every day watching Sports Center. I mean, I would stay at work a little. Oh, you ain't doing nothing.
He don't work. He do not
He do
work.
not. A lot of the husbands on Married to Medicine don't work. That I should have put that. We could shift to that discussion point. Cecil and Simone, and you haven't even watched this season to see.
I watched the whole situation about with the boys and
Okay, okay. That was like a peak of season. Simone this season, she's just looking worn and tired, and she's seeming like she's crying for help, and nobody's really listening to her. Like when people start making light and how Contessa was about Scott, like, oh, Scott is this, and it was all like, oh, I'm just joking. No,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
truth in every joke. That's
yeah,
why it's
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of funny. And Simone's whole thing, she just keeps making reference to like she just wants to get divorced and be free and drop all these
Yeah, yeah,
boys,
yeah.
and this is a burden, and she's kind of like saying it haphazardly, but I think she's for real. But kind of like Jackie a bit. I think part of the Simone and Cecil storyline is that redemption moment at the reunion
Yeah,
where
yeah,
they
yeah.
came back together and held it down. And so now I think they really just don't want to, mess
I
that
think
up.
she does want to get divorced.
Oh no, she definitely does. I don't know why they haven't, but she's literally on the show this season. When you watch, she's making it very plain. She's saying it with a cocktail in her hand with a little wiggle, but she means it. I don't know why she hasn't done it yet. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if maybe they don't want to undo the. I don't know why they haven't done it yet, but
Yeah.
Simone needs to free herself. She doesn't look happy. The men in her life aren't treating her well. And honestly, Cecil seems like he just wants to move in with them boys and have a little like bro shack. He wants to be their friend so bad. Let him. Let him. Let him move into that condo that you're paying for and just leave them there.
Yeah. Maybe it's like maybe I was thinking about this because as I was seeing those clips earlier, and I did watch the Watch What Happens live, where she was saying at the beginning of the season, around the time that she was having the conversation with Michael about the money, and she did say that she ended up buying him that
She
Tesla.
bought him the Tesla anyway. So that's why it's like, do you want to leave? Like, are you really tired or what's keeping you there?
She was, and he was in the audience at Watch What Happens Live, and she had made mention again of kind of wanting to leave Cecil, and Andy asked something about their marriage, and Michael looked so uncomfortable and sad, and I
Mm-hmm.
do think her kids would be ultimately very, very sad if they got divorced, and I really, really do love them as a couple because I do feel like they are friends. You
That's
know?
what I was about to say. I think they would be great friends and fuck
Yeah,
buddies. I think they
yeah,
would be great friends and fuck buddies. Do they
yeah,
need to be in the same house
yeah. No,
every day, sharing a bank account anymore? No. I think
yeah,
they both deserve some freedom. Even when I look at a lot of like, just kind of older relationships and they've been together since they were like in college.
yeah,
It's not, I think they love each other and will always be, even if
yeah,
they get new partners, you're going to have to like Cecil and you're
yeah,
going to have
yeah,
to like
yeah,
Simone.
yeah.
I don't think they'll ever play about each other. They just don't need to be in a romantic relationship. They don't seem happy.
I don't think they need to live
Or
together.
Simone doesn't seem happy at least. Simone seems like she's just haggard and tired and they don't really seem to be listening to her.
Yeah, and I think that she is they might be not listening to her, maybe because she's still going to do all these things anyways. She's still
Mm-hmm.
going to work for the show. She's still going to be a doctor. And she's still probably going to take on the big financial burden, like still buying that Tesla, right? But it's different when you're doing it and you're going to your own fucking house at the end of the night, and you are only worried about cleaning up for yourself and cooking for
Yeah.
yourself. And then but instead you were going into this home where you looking at this nigga that didn't go to work today. You're like,
Over and over again. And I'm not, where is oh, you haven't watched the season yet, but Curtis takes a lot of business trips this year.
I think it's
Dude,
golfing trips.
what? But they're golf business trip, or at least that's what Jackie said. Jackie said it's a golf business trip. Um,
That's what I'm saying again about these shows is like there was a time where we used to be so ignorant to the truth about these people's lives. Like, you know how Lisa Barlow says,
ruthless.
I live a very different life.
Hmm.
And like when they were like, well, what is your business? I looked up her business.
What is it?
It's us in our jobs, Jasmine, as
Oh,
event
okay.
planners and
Okay.
marketers.
That's what it sounds like she was describing,
Yes,
but I just don't know.
there's no evidence of it. And I
Yes.
do believe that is what she's doing, but she's not doing it at the scale in what she's acting like she's doing it,
Hmm.
like because you would have more information about it online. That's just it's
Yes. Yes, I agree with that. And it's like the ambiguity of it is
yes,
kind
yeah,
of,
nothing should be that ambiguous.
yes, if it's a real deal. But I
Yeah.
also, and I think she lives a different life because I'm sure the projects she works on aren't like her she's not getting a paycheck every 2 weeks for a salaried amount or something. She's getting like, these one-off projects for
Yeah.
probably five, six, five figure, paychecks at a time. So they can be a little more spotty, I guess. It's just like
I
I
don't
want to
think
hire.
that many people are hiring her at this
I
point
don't
to
think
keep
so
doing
either.
their events.
I don't
But
know.
but I say all that to say that like it's like Curtis, what's the business, babe? Like you can just say these things plainly. Yeah. We
Hmm.
can figure it out now. It's before you could hide and the internet could sleuth and find, but
Hmm.
Curtis, what the is the business? See,
Hmm.
so you don't work for real.
You're
Like
not doing no real estate. You ain't selling no houses.
we can
So,
look it up if you were selling a house. So
hmm,
yeah, I am all for, especially like you said, older couples that have been together for a while. Even myself as a like right now, I'm like, I'm not even that old, but if I did get married, I don't think I need to ever live with a partner.
I don't want to. If we can be in the same house, we have to have separate bedrooms.
It had to be huge, yeah.
We have to have separate bedrooms at least. I don't want to sleep in the same bed with you every night. It's not the heat, the snoring, just knowing you exist. We at least need separate bedrooms. But I did have a manager before in Birmingham. She was like a 50 something year, like mid 50 something year old woman, and she got married. She was wealthy. Her husband was wealthy. They were lived in a lovely suburb. Um, and when she got married, they didn't even stay in the same house. She was like, I'm going to stay in my house. He's going to stay in his house around the corner. At some point, we may buy a little something together, but I like when he comes over every night. It feels like date night. I like to go over there and he cooks and grills for me, and then I come back home.
Yeah,
She was very adamant on, like, I'm not about to change the peace and happy and calm
yeah,
I'm cultivating in here
yeah,
for him. And
yeah.
we done got to. And I remember at the time, it just blew my mind. I was like, what? I come from a very southern religious household. My parents don't ever sleep apart. Like it ain't no, I'm going on a girls trip. I'll see you. I wanted to take the women in my life on like a trip. Like, hey, mom, grandma, sisters, auntie, let's go on like a little weekend beach trip. My daddy was like, but we wouldn't be together. And I was like, for a weekend? But they are quite set. And she's like, well, I'll just come and be quiet. No. So
It's a,
listen,
your
I have
mom has not gone on a girls trip the whole time she's been married.
no,
Wow. When they,
no.
they'll say that on Housewives, and you're like, girl, what are you talking about? But like, it be happening.
Yeah, no, very much in the Bible Belt. Okay,
Yeah.
they are very ribbed up. Um, so yeah.
What if your mom came to visit you?
She's not gonna come to visit me without him.
Oh, all right.
My mom, she's not even gonna get on a plane. My mom is very like, she don't want to drive on the freeway. She's very
Mm.
like, I say she has. My dad is her knight in shining armor. She is his damsel in distress, and that works well for them.
And that works for,
And
yeah,
I never
yes.
let them have
Love
that.
that for them. I do. I
Yeah.
do. If that, it's like if you could have got in when they were still making men like that, I would have got in too, but they not making them like that no more.
I was thinking we could get to that a little bit later, but you're not incorrect. It's just, people ask me all the time. They're like, "Oh, I'm so surprised you're single, or you just must just be shooting men down." Da, da, da. I'm like, no, I don't. Nobody barely comes my way over here. And if they do, it's usually foolery. Like
Foolery.
it's
Man,
not a romance. It doesn't have romance or gentlemanliness about it. It's
yeah.
something physical and trashy, or something casual, 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 casual. Please go away.
Just fine sometimes, or just something that no, that you ain't it. You're not.
Yeah, the casual, but they don't reciprocate. If I offer you something casual, like I've gone on dates before. I went on a date with a guy before, and about 10 minutes in, we were talking about like just getting to know each other. It's like, what's your favorite restaurant? Blah 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 blah. I'm telling him all these things, and he just sighed. He was like, looked at me and was like, so what's your favorite sexual position? As if like the sigh really did it for me because it was like, all right, I'm tired of bullshit. What's your favorite sexual position? And I was like, oh, and it snatched my wig because I was genuinely having a good time. We were like on a rooftop at a bar having a lovely scene and view. I'm having a good time. Like, tell him I'm thinking you're listening. No,
Where was
no.
this? Was it Columbus or Birmingham?
This was in Birmingham. And so in that moment though, I was like, well, all he wants to do is smash. So I was like, well, what do I want to do as a grown woman? I was
Yeah.
like, he's not gonna be my man, but I do find him attractive. It seems like we can have a good time. All right, I'll shift out of date mode and I'll come over here to the dark side with you. That man was terrified when I offered him, when I was like, oh, okay. And when I told him, like, oh, well,
Answer
it
this
doesn't seem
question.
like, yeah, like it doesn't seem like we're gonna have a, romantical dating connection. But if you just want to be a little sneaky link and come on around every now and then, that's cool. He was pissed. He was pissed. He acted like I had just offended him or came for his virginity. Like, how dare you say that we could just have a physical, casual relationship? Like, what do you mean I could just stop by every now and then? It's like, you just asked me. And I was like, well, what's my favorite restaurant? Couldn't say it. That was the last question he asked me that I answered before he said,
You're
what's your
like
favorite
10
sexual
minutes
position?
ago.
He could, and Stephanie, we were on the rooftop looking at the restaurant. We could see I pointed to the restaurant right before he said, what's your favorite sexual? I was literally pointing.
I hate him. I hate him. Please.
But when
Next topic. We can't. I can't.
yeah, 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 they're all,
That's craziness. I
he
can't
acted
believe.
like I was a whore for saying, well, we can just keep it casual. Okay.
Do you think I'm going to take you seriously, sir?
No, I was mad I had wasted an outfit. But anyway, well, on the
That's like
knee,
something that people they usually say like in the text messaging part where like you really he said that IR.
we snatched. We had been
Yeah.
talking on Hinge. We matched on Hinge. We had been talking on Hinge for like a week. The only reason we were on the date because he was actually using whole sentences. He wasn't just asking what you doing all day or saying I'm at work. Like he was having a whole conversation. He asked me out. We're at
Did
the
he
bar.
pick the place, time?
Nah, he didn't play. He picked the day. He picked the day and the time, but he did ask me.
Okay.
Yeah. He was like, well, do you have a favorite bar or something? We can go there. So I was fine with that.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I was
picked the
fine with
day
that.
and
He
time.
made a plan and he asked me if I had a favorite bar. So I'm fine with that. But that's why I was so surprised. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm thinking you're for real. But no, it's okay. I've also recently had a Columbus dating experience that has taught me more. I had my first love bombing experience. That was shitty. Here in Columbus. But these men, even when they seems like they're on the right track here, they just be playing. It's just an illusion because they know it's better for they have a better experience when we really like them. Like if I'm just gonna have a physical connection with you, I'm not responding to your every text message. I'm
Yeah.
not calling you every day. I'm not learning that many details about you. No, I don't need to know too much about your life. No, you can't spend the night. They don't like that. They like, oh, I'm so excited to see you. I put on a pretty
Boy,
outfit. Come
please.
over. Let's Netflix and chill. They enjoy all getting the full breadth of our experience while knowing damn well
They
I don't
don't
want a
want, yeah.
relationship. I'm not really trying to be with you all day. I want to take my time anyway.
Please, please.
Well, on to another failed relationship, Quad and King. Quad and King. I was happy to see them together last season, but I never really fully liked his energy. Quad just seemed so excited and in love. And as somebody who has also been divorced before, I was a little sticky. I didn't think they were gonna be forever because I was like, oh, this is her first real relationship. It's gonna crash. But thoughts on Quad and King?
What I did see before I stopped watching last season, he seemed cool. I think she was really happy to have somebody who seemed like they really had her back,
Yeah.
especially because last season with Greg and Sweet Tea, he did seem to really have her back, and I think that that really made her be like my man, my man, my man.
Yeah.
Which I was happy for her for that. I haven't watched the season, so I don't know what's happening with them, on the show. But obviously, I know that they've broken up, and she seemingly like posted a an okay, very keep it plain type message about it. But it's like sucky and weird that I just couldn't imagine thinking I'm going to have a kid with a person and going through a whole IVF situation and then breaking up with them.
It just seems different as well because King also already has children, or at least a child. So he's already had this experience. Quad hasn't. And so I think there's different levels of investment and interest about it. It's Quad's first child ever and likely going to be her only one.
Yeah.
Whereas he already has a child and he's also not the primary parent. I think that plays a dynamic too, with like the weight that men think that goes into parenthood. But yes, that was a big factor in what seemed to take them on the downfall this season.
Okay.
Their fertility journey was like their main storyline.
Yeah. Was he not being supportive about it? Like,
He was. It's just that, well, Quad. So their treatment didn't work out,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so Quad was just like she wants to try again. She wants to keep going. He's kind of worn out by the process,
Okay. Got
and
it.
so he's like, how long are we going to keep trying? And Quad's kind of like, why would we stop trying? And she's it's also very physically taxing and emotionally taxing for her.
Yeah.
And
For
it
her
seems
and him
like
to be the partner of her while she's dealing with that. Yeah.
one would think. It seems like he's kind of detaching from the feelings of it, though. It sounds like he's just kind of like, oh, well, I'm kind of tired of trying all this. Like, we can just go continue being fine and having fun on the beach. Also, he already has a child. He probably, who even knows, just because he has a child doesn't mean he ever even wanted kids.
What did a
But
child?
Quad wants children.
Yeah.
So it's just different. He's kind of like, okay, we tried, it didn't work out. And Quad's like, okay, we did this time didn't work out. What's next? And so it kind of became such a big center of their relationship that it
It
just kind
did.
of
It broke it up.
yeah.
I
And
think,
he had also started to get a bit mean. It seemed like he was starting to enjoy his camera time, like the
mm,
king, like being
he was happy
recognized
about it.
as yes, like he seems like he was enjoying being recognized as like Quad's fine boyfriend.
Yeah.
And so he was getting a bit sassy. Like he
Yeah.
even in some of his conversations to the men and some of the ways he was talking to them, it was definitely given like I'm on the show now,
I think
And
he
I can
came
really
in
see
like that. I think he came in a little more excited to be on the show than one would imagine.
that.
Like,
But I thought Quiet's a bit extra. He's a bit extra.
yeah, yeah,
So I thought they clicked together. But I did think that he was. I agree everything you said about him being there for her and supportive while Dr. G was around. I think that would have been hard for her to be on the cast by herself with her ex husband and his new wife.
yeah. And that was a whole messy situation. But I hope that she just has a I think women have to be, I don't know. I have such honest and very clear conversations about kids. Like I want to have a kid because I want to be a mother and I'm going to do this with or without this partner.
Yeah.
Because especially once you get to a certain age, you're not
Yep.
married. And then if you do want to have the kid, but you do not want to do it without a partner, you have to say and be done with it. Like
Hmm.
I'm the only way I'm doing this is with the partner.
Hmm.
And other stories like I do not want to have a kid, no matter who the partner is, and I am not going to say that I might have a kid, like on Love Is Blind.
Yep.
Like
Yeah, and I think it's another gray area that I feel like I'm in right now that Quad is like experiencing the I guess repercussions of. Like one thing she says on the show, one of the reasons they're having issues, like she just basically referenced the fact that she wished she would have frozen her eggs. Like, oh, Dr. Jackie and Simone were telling her when she was like younger with Dr. G and stuff, freeze your eggs. You want kids, freeze your eggs, and she didn't. And so
yeah,
now it's slim pickings basically,
yeah,
and that's a point of contention. And so that's kind of where I'm at as well. I'm not interested in having kids unless I have a partner.
yeah,
And even if I have a partner, I'm still a little like Emma from Love Is Blind on it. I'm like, I can kind of take it or leave it. In my head, I could see a point where I love you so much, I want to create a person with you. But at the same time, I don't know. I'm just very on the fence about it. So that's something even I've been thinking like, should I go ahead and freeze my
yeah,
eggs? But
yeah,
then that's like a whole process. Like that's hormone shots. That's a whole thing. Especially if I don't feel like I want kids bad enough to do it on. I know I don't want kids bad enough to do it on my own. But then what do I do with these eggs if I don't find a partner or have a partner? I don't know. But I recognize like I'm in this same kind of gray area that Quad was in. Quad was like thinking she's going to be married forever. Why would I need to freeze my eggs? And now though she's like, oh, I found somebody I love and want to have a child with, but it's difficult.
Well, I think she also knew she didn't want to. She knew she didn't want to have kids with Greg.
Mm-hmm.
That was something they talked about from the very beginning. She could have had a kid a long time ago. She legitimately did not want to have a kid with him. So she probably needed to be unmarried to him even before
Mm-hmm.
she was, because she said it. And I kind of like that about her, that she knew he wasn't the person she wanted to be the father of her
Yeah,
kid.
she made very clear we're not bringing a kid into this
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do hate though that Sweet Tea has been having fertility issues as
I
well. Like
know.
Dr. G really wants to be a dad, so I hate
Yeah.
that she's been experiencing that.
Yeah.
Okay, our last Married to Medicine point is Dr. Heavenly running for office. Would you vote for her? What do you think? I wouldn't vote for her.
And
Um,
if she's the only person running unopposed in my district, I guess I just wouldn't vote for that bubble.
she's Toya caught a lot of flack for saying she wouldn't vote for her, but I agree. I don't. She be
Hmm.
talking about people's mamas and saying vile crap. And her platform. I don't even understand her platform, or it doesn't even really seem like too strong of a platform. I get her story about having a son who got arrested, so now she wants to make sure that the system is cool. But I don't know.
There's just a lot of people in elected office that should be there. So she might get in anyways. Who gives a damn? I mean, she's not in
It's
my district.
Atlanta. It's Atlanta. Okay, let's slide over to Real Housewives of Potomac for a quick second. Wendy and Eddie. Wendy and Eddie. Did you see the Potomac reunion?
I saw it all. This is where I feel like my head
Okay.
is at in Potomac. Okay. I'm gonna try to keep it brief.
Okay, well, let's start with the Osefos. First of all, Wendy was gorgeous at the reunion, but they're about to go. Well, it seems like they could be going to prison. An article came out, or it was announced this week after they went to court that they're separating their sins against the defendants. Initially, they were separated, and then at one point they were like, "Oh no, we're going to be tried together," and now they've separated again. So,
Initially, they asked for them to be separated. The
yeah,
judge said no,
yeah.
and then they kept them together, and now they are separated. I think she's literally setting herself up to say that he did all of this.
I mean, of course, that's what it's going to be. That's the what people were saying was the right thing to do. Um, I feel like
Believe
it.
that though.
I, I, I feel like it would be very hard. It's very hard for us to allege that you were married to Eddie Osefo, the man who we have a documented email from
Yeah,
saying
to
like,
you.
"Hey, I'm trying to get us up to the max. What else do you have?" And you just had no idea about
No
anything.
idea.
It's hard for me to believe that your man Eddie here schemed up a whole fake burglary and you ain't know nothing about it. I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't believe it, Wendy. But I also understand why you would just want to roll it. He's the man. He just gonna roll over and take it, I guess.
And really, the question is for what? I just feel like not enough conversation has been had about the for what. The for what is for you, Wendy. We all saw you come into this reality show one way, toting your education, love it, Black woman,
I
educated.
barely even liked her first season because I felt like she was too pompous about that.
She was very pompous, but didn't mind that as much as I started to see the shift in who she became. Because I think Wendy, I truly believe, as another dark skinned woman who really values education, obviously not as much as her and got that many degrees, but and I'm not Nigerian, I don't come from that kind of background. But I understand the pressure. My best friend is Nigerian. Like I do get that pressure of education and all that. I think she's so insecure. She was so insecure about her looks and fitting in that all of this scam makes sense and it was for you. So whether or not Eddie did it, you reap the benefits of it to look a certain way on this TV show, to have the glam, the body that you got to make over, the clothing that you are having now.
Mhm.
You again, like we said from the beginning, we can clock the money, sister.
And yeah, that's what I was wondering as
And a
well.
lawyer, you're
How
making six figures, probably both of you, but you're probably neither one of you are probably making over. Wendy definitely as a professor is not making over 150,000 a
Yeah,
year.
I was gonna say I don't think it's clocking 200K. I wouldn't even
I
say
don't even
that.
think
That's
I
so.
was almost about to say 200, just
I think if anything, maybe Eddie's legal earnings could get him there, depending on how many
yes,
cases
depending
and
on
all
what it
those
was.
things. However, and maybe it's just none of our business. I'm not even sure what type of law Eddie practices,
Yes. Or if
where
he
he
was
does it.
practicing.
Yeah, how actively he's been practicing or whatever. So
Yeah.
I can't had no validation to that. All we've ever heard about over the few years with Wendy is she leaving jobs. She
Yes.
stopped doing the professor and things. She's not going back to that anymore. So that's a loss of one stream of income. Bravo
You
checks are nice, but they you have to be on there for a while before they
yeah, to get
grow.
them, make them
And
big.
so you're probably just now getting to the point where you're making real money on there. And the first check you got, we know you went out and got happiness. So we know you like
Yeah.
to spend. So I don't know. It's seeming like prison is chomping at their ankles.
Yeah, 'cause, like you probably did it, and I hate to say that. Now that was probably the most shocking news of Bravo in the last couple of years. Like I
I
was
agree. I was
flabbergasted.
yeah. When I was on Twitter and I was like, why is TMZ lying? Like from the I was like, this is AI. Like why is TMZ doing Wendy like this? And then it just kept coming out more reports,
Dang.
and I was like, Wendy and Eddie. Like people talk about how they think Giselle would be a scammer. Giselle's too broke to be. Well,
Yeah,
she may not be broke now, but Giselle's too like regular, degular, down homie
yeah,
to be out
and
here
okay with
scamming.
being regular, and truly because she's insecure with who she is. I think this season
Mm-hmm.
we saw how insecure
That's it.
Wendy is
That's it.
because she wanted to fit in so badly with Giselle, and she
That's a
wanted to
great
look
point.
a certain way, and I think, and I just think it's really deep seated. Like, I feel like I understand her and empathize with her in a way. And I felt like it was really
Mhm.
deep seated. And the moment you get some money is when it can change a little bit and come out because it can
I
change.
agree. That's a great point about Giselle being secure in herself. People have been talking about her tacky fashions, her
Yeah.
tacky house, her oddly. They've been dragging Giselle for different things. Her
Neck.
mismatched weaves, yes. And she's still every season she coming right back. No
Hey.
stylist, still in the same house with the zebra print chair. So she is very
And not
secure in herself.
caring.
Not care at all.
And
So
not changing and spending her
yeah,
money on mess. And so
yeah. She got them
as much as
babies and she's putting her babies in college and they're out here looking good and being great. So yeah.
and she's not lying about businesses and having
Mm-hmm.
extra money. She's saying, I'm living off this
Mm-hmm.
check right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty
And
much
I'm
it.
building my house at my pace, and I'm going to
Yeah.
decorate it with things that I can afford.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I hate it for Wendy and Eddie's kids. Her relationship with her mom already seems tense. So if something does happen and they have to go live with like her or her sister, that seems like it could be a sticky situation too. Weddy, Eddie looks like he's been losing a lot of weight. He's been looking kind of frail lately. It's just tough. But then when you look on their Instagram, they're and I'm not saying they should be posting like poor photos or nothing, but like, hey, friend, it's like, hey,
I
look,
think
you still glitz glamming it up over here.
is she
Maybe take a sabbatical for a little minute.
Karen, I screamed when Karen said, I would have told you to shut the fuck up because
Yeah,
that whole story that Wendy gave at
yeah,
the reunion, I said, sister, sister,
yeah.
sister. And she
I
said,
was sitting on my couch like such detail and such like and she said for her when she said later on like my legal team and I were already like they basically told me this is what I should say. I was like, who's your legal team? Like who's
no, she made it seem like it was okay because this is the story that she's already said,
mm-hmm,
which is
mm-hmm.
fine. That may be the story you already said, but sister, if it's a lie and you end up taking a plea, then you're showing that you lied
And
again.
you put on national TV on
Yeah,
record, like that's never going. You can't deny that at all.
that
You
you
can't
lied
deny
again.
anything. So if they find any type of factual evidence that contradicts any point in what you're saying, the whole thing crumbles. So I was just very surprised about that. You always see these Bravo girlies when they get on that reunion stage. So I can't talk about it. It's an ongoing case. I can't talk about an active investigation.
Which is
Girl,
annoying. But she was the
Wendy went into too much detail. She it seemed like in her mind she was like one, two, three, and just like expelled the story that she had already rehearsed and like
that she
down to a T.
rehearsed. And
It
then
just
she
seemed
just thinks like, and I just am like, now, baby, I've only gone to the University of Law and Order SVU, but I
crazy.
watched a lot of crime shows. I get thinking that even because you said it already, that it's already out there. I get that. But lie, if that is a lie, if it is not the truth,
Hmm.
that is so bad.
I agree.
And
I
you know
agree.
it's not the truth. We all know. We know that that burglary was not the truth.
They have pictures of you wearing the things you said got stolen, and they have receipts. Receipts was really because some people are like, oh, well, maybe it's like a fake, a fake copy of the ring. They have receipts of things that you said were stolen that were returned years beforehand.
And like, I I get you're living a busy life, whatever, but baby, you know that you went to Prada and returned that shirt from
You already
ATM.
spent the money. You already spent the money. You already took a photo in it and sent it.
And also, sister, you're reporting a burglary and saying that people walked out of your house the same way that they got in there, out the window again, with like Robin Dixon said, 57 items. So they would have to be taking
No
multiple
ladder.
out of the roof.
No camera footage. No
No camera.
neighbor. No neighbor alert. No.
Such a lie.
Why you making me agree with Robin Dixon, bruh? She's so annoying. Oh.
This
Yeah.
is such a blatant lie, and I just feel like she's gonna take a plea. Like I
She
just
is
believe
gonna take a plea.
that.
That's exactly why they wanted them to be tried separately. She gonna have to roll Eddie under the bus at some point. She's gonna have to be like, I didn't know that. I'm sure I can only imagine the painful conversations in their bedroom that they have happened to be
She
having.
can't say
Like,
she didn't know, Jasmine. She goes,
I don't
maybe
know.
she but when you take a plea, you have to admit some guilt.
She probably gonna say something, but maybe not all of it. Because if
Yeah.
she say she knew about it all, y'all might as what you splitting up for? Y'all might as well hold hands and go down there together.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, what do I truly believe in my mind? I think they should probably hold hands and go down together. In terms of, I don't think it was anything that was going on that they didn't jointly know about.
Yeah.
Because I do believe they seem like they genuinely love each other. They like
Yeah.
each other. I think that's my man, my girl, my girl. So I don't think Eddie was out here coming up with plans and things alone. I don't think
And
he was
not telling.
executing it
Yeah.
alone. I don't even think he would do that. Like
Yeah.
y'all seem like y'all communicate.
Yeah.
So,
Y'all
but
tried this one and
but
it
if you need to get on this stand and act like you didn't know what your man was doing at work, I understand. I understand. If you need to get on the stand and say you didn't know what all he was doing while he was off lawyering during the day, okay.
so, but then you'd have to say that you believe he staged the robbery. You'd have to
I don't
believe,
know. They got so many different counts.
yeah,
Maybe she can pick and choose. Maybe she can a la carte what she
that's what
would
I'm saying. I think that
say.
some of them.
Yeah, and she keeps saying we'll have our day in court. We'll have our day in court. And I also think it's. I don't think she should have said all that. Wendy is saying we didn't know nothing about nothing. We haven't done anything at all. In that courtroom, y'all gonna have to eventually admit to knowing something and doing something. That's gonna be such a stark contrast. You should have just stayed silent.
If I put an insurance claim in for my glasses and they just didn't tell me nothing and didn't give me my money, you think I'm not gonna call back and be like,
What's
"Where's my
going
money?
on? Yeah.
What's going on?" Like because they didn't get the money. They only got, I think, what, $25,000 for the ring only. They didn't get the huge amount that they asked for. So wouldn't you be like, shit, something's going on. What's going on? Like, you might not have known about the criminal investigation, but you knew that the insurance company didn't believe you, sister, because you
Yeah.
didn't have no money.
And it was something in there about them having multiple insurance policies on like you got two different policies on
It
them
was, I
glasses.
think, two or three
What do
policies.
hey,
Anyway,
orange could be y'all new black. Um, okay, it is 12:30 at the moment. How
yeah,
are you feeling? What do you need to do?
I'm good. You want to go like, as we started a little late. So did you plan on an hour and a half?
Yeah, that's the time I usually plan for it, but I don't have anywhere to be today. So I'm just going on your schedule. We are basically at the end here.
Okay.
So we don't have to go through like all these what are these all these Real
No, let's
Housewives of
finish
Potomac.
Potomac.
Okay, yay. Okay, back to it. Kay in this picture frame. Kay is a gorgeous, gorgeous girl.
You say K in this picture.
I mean, it's Kay in the picture frame. Kay in my condo, my man, my house, my thing.
My man, my house, my things.
My Kay in general. First season. Is this her first season? No, it's her second season, right?
She did a season before that as a friend of.
I'm tired. I don't like Greg. I think he's taking advantage of her. And well, no, I think he's comfortable feeling like Kay ain't never going nowhere, and so I can just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't really care about their relationship at all, because I'm fine with people wanting something and changing their mind and wanting
Mm-hmm.
something different, whatever. But you're the one who said you wanted all this,
Mm-hmm.
and to get annoyed with people when they're asking you, or even your family saying, "Well, baby, you said you wanted marriage," and all this kind of stuff is annoying because you said it. Nobody said that you had to want to be married to him so quickly. But you said that. You said a ring was coming. You said you weren't settling for living in the house with him, all the above. And
You
now,
moved out and got a condo.
okay, whatever. Like, and then it's also the murkiness about whether or not she owns a condo or he owns a condo. And I don't think she's going to be back. So I don't care.
I wouldn't mind that at all, though. I
Yeah.
wouldn't. She didn't leave any. She didn't leave a big enough impression for me. Her or Angel. Angel has already said she didn't get. She's not coming back.
No, she
So
hasn't. Like, confirm.
Angel, Colorado trip. Angel, yeah, she's not coming back. She's already. She put out a IG press release and said she's not coming back. I
When?
don't. At least a couple weeks ago now. Yeah. That
I
wasn't
that
surprising
is
to me.
so
That wasn't surprising to me. Angel, she's too nice of a human to be on Housewives. This was not her speed.
no.
It, and I don't want her trying to change herself to become sassier and
Yeah.
snappier and meaner just to fit in with them. Honey, you're already wealthy. You already have a husband and a family that looks like y'all are nice and functioning. Go ahead and sit down.
Oh, if she doesn't come back, oh, Kay's definitely probably not coming back.
Yeah,
And
I agree. I ain't got time.
Jazzy's not coming back for sure, probably.
Monique came back this season. I feel like it was kind of like a Shamia coming to Real Housewives. Like it was supposed to be like, oh, Monique is back. It's kind of like, oh, okay, Monique is back.
I'm okay with the pace in which it happened. Like I think it was. I'm glad she did make a huge splash. It wasn't like her being a
Mm-hmm.
housewife fully again. I'm happy that she just came to hang out a little bit and she didn't make a big deal about it. I think it would have been
Yeah,
if she made a big deal like Shamia did, like I'm the HBIC and then gave us nothing. I think Monique was like, I'm not giving y'all that much, but I'm here. I'm happy. You
I'm here
know.
for some fun. When she was super weak at that Giselle's room, Giselle and whoever's room at that
Oh yeah,
on the Colorado trip, she was
of
weak.
Ashley's.
Yeah, yes, yes. Very funny. Okay, since we're talking about Monique, Stacy and Chris. And their alleged dating and things. So I just like Stacey in general. She's funny. She do be lying. But Stacey's entertaining.
I think I'm in the small minority that is not so infatuated with her because I could just get super tired of a person. Like I understand the girl's
Um,
frustration with her because a
I
lot of
agree.
it's annoying.
I
Like,
agree. I like her. I'm not on the show, so
yeah,
that's why
yeah,
I see Stacey once a week on Sunday nights.
yeah,
I'm not in there sitting at the table with her.
yeah.
All that lying she be doing, I feel like she would have got bought by now. But as just a general Barbara celebrity, she cool on my end, but I
It's
hardly
fine. I do think like Brown, I mean, Andy gave her a warning though. Like, don't do it too much, sister, because
Mhm.
people can turn on you so quickly. I foresee a season if she continues down this exact same road of people being like, "Ugh, girl, like you see
And
people turn on people so quickly.
I don't know why she lying so much. Like lying about seemingly little things. I don't know.
I
But
think
she
she's not. I think I realized at the reunion, like the thing about Chris, right? That picture with them, he is they aren't on a date exclusively.
hmm
You can tell
hmm
that. And she said there's 20 people there. He's obviously talking to somebody at a different part of the table, which you're right. And at first, I didn't think about that when they were showing the picture all at the beginning of the season. When she says that later at the reunion, you're like, okay, yeah, that does make sense.
hmm
But she's just not good at being clear in her communication. And so it looks like, and then when you do a lie about little things, like she's not lying about everything, but you're not being clear like
Yeah,
about stuff. So it does leave people to just assume you're
you're
lying.
lying.
If
That's true.
saying I went on a date with him, but we was not fucking or what,
hmm
you just say what it is.
hmm
Like saying I went on several dates with many people and I saw
Yeah,
me and Timo saw people. He was one of the people that I saw. Say I went on 4 dates with him.
yeah,
We
yeah.
went out to dinner. We had drink, whatever. Just
Especially Monique is already like, I don't care. Yeah.
yeah. Don't keep and like we're not like we are not good friends. Girl, I do not talk to that man no more. Like
hmm
just say, like
Yeah.
she doesn't do herself any favors.
She doesn't. She doesn't. I can see that.
And then I did not like her situation with Tia. Now that pissed me off because she did lie.
What was the Tia situation? What are they talking about? The Timo thing and coming to
Yeah.
dinner. Yeah, she did lie. That's what I mean. Like, why lie? Like, I don't understand what was the big deal about Timo and the dinner. Like, even if he just didn't want to come or something. Like, I don't get it.
And then I think she just ran with the fact. I don't think Tia was trying to report back to anybody. She said
Mm-mm,
to Wendy, "Oh, she told me, Stacey told me he was going out of town." And then you're on the
mm-mm.
phone right now saying, "Oh, he's in town. He got back tonight." Baby, that was yesterday. Like,
Yeah,
tell me something that makes no sense and then act like
yeah.
I'm crazy. Now that's gonna piss me off. Tia being annoyed. But then later, I think Stacey was able to run with it, and the people was online saying that, oh, Tia ran back and said it to Wendy and said it to Giselle. And it's like, I don't think Tia was really running back. I think she was just saying what
What
happened,
happened? Yeah.
So I hope that they can like figure that out because it's actually not a fun fight. And I really actually like Tia a lot. I
I
think she was
like
gonna
Tia
be
too. I like
bad.
Tia too. Yeah. I liked her fashions. I liked her hair. I think she's funny.
Yeah.
Her
I think
family's cute.
family. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that she's like able to give us some personal storyline,
Yep.
whereas most people didn't. And I'm the type of person who likes I like a regular housewife sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need everybody to be rah 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 rah. And I thought she ate when she said you had one job this season, that was to be a friend, and you're a friend to no.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Jackie was on there walling.
Yep. Yep. It's Jazzy. I think yeah, she's made a post saying that she didn't get asked to come back on the show for next season either. So that's not surprising.
That's not surprising, sister.
That's not surprising. I like you and Kay can just it's all right. Who's next in line? But who is back? Karen came back to the reunion. I could have left her off. I don't feel like she added much, but I know she's like Nene. She is a OG of the Potomac franchise, and since she's out of jail now, it made sense that they had her on there.
I don't think it made sense for her to be at the reunion.
I
You know,
think not Bravo. I was thinking about his Instagram name, Bravo Andy. Andy loves Karen and
yeah,
like and I think she was supposed to come out and make like a spicy, a rating spike moment,
yeah,
oh, it's Karen and this beef that they had been showing about with her and
yeah.
Wendy. So I think they brought her on that to be like a rating spike moment.
I think it wasn't a good look for her though, because she
I
ended
agree.
up looking. I personally thought that the interview was great. I with her.
Really?
I did. I know a lot of people didn't. I thought that I did not mind the way in which she answered some of the questions, and I did not mind the fact that she didn't call herself an alcoholic, only because, as somebody who has thought a lot about my own alcohol consumption and read and listened to podcasts, and like, there's just so much jargon that makes it like, why does someone have to call themselves an alcoholic to be accountable? Like if she's saying, I have chosen to live in lifelong recovery because this has given me consequences that I don't want to have, like if that's her truth, for one, nobody is ever going to be able to not let her put a drink to her mouth. That's just not how it works,
Yeah.
So whatever she wants to call herself, all we should hope is that she's better. Like,
I think you have to be better by being accountable. And
yeah,
sis was dodging too much accountability for me.
like
I just think,
how?
what is not an alcoholic? Well, I don't know. Maybe we can look up the definition. But from what we've been learning about Karen, sis was day drinking all day throughout the day. Like it wasn't just it wasn't a casualness. It's like we're learning, or what the people are saying. Karen is like drinking is her activity throughout
Yeah,
the day, and she's not just socially drinking to have fun. She's getting
yeah.
wasted in public at various places all the time. She's had 4 DUIs. Now, if she kept referencing some of them were long ago, that doesn't mean they didn't happen. And ma'am, did you see that video? This is not just, that's not, I just enjoy alcohol activity or behavior.
No.
And that was you getting caught being extra wasted that time.
Yeah.
For you to even get behind the wheel at that level lets me know that there have
Oh,
likely been previous
yeah.
instances where you may not have been that drunk, but you were still likely drunk and driving.
Or she's probably
So
that drunk. Let's be honest with ourselves. If you
she
are
could, but
drinking,
for you to get behind the wheel at that point, drinking and driving is not something scary for you. So for those reasons, I do think and it doesn't seem like she's gone to a real rehab, had any real counseling, or that she's even, because she's choosing not to call herself an alcoholic. I hear what you're saying about you don't have the labels of it all, but it's the absence of accountability for me. It's like I feel like she's, by her saying I'm not an alcoholic, it's her denying all the things she's done. And instead of just saying like, yeah, I did all these things, I really need to look at myself and see like what's causing me to drink so much and deal with that, so that I'm not doing, like, to me that's the work of long-term recovery. But she's not even saying I really have a major issue here to be working on. She's just kind of like, I'm always going to be working on myself. And yes, sister, you should be, but what are you working on yourself for and why? You're not really getting to that.
she did
I,
say I have a problem with alcohol at the end.
yeah.
I just don't think that when you say I'm an alcoholic, that means that you've taken full accountability. Because, like you said, she did take accountability when she said drinking and driving is not something I usually do. And then he said, yes, it is, because it's something that you did. You know,
Right.
so that's not
But
taking.
why is she but why but I think her mind but I'm saying her mindset is in this delusional land of drinking and driving is not like I think Karen's still trying to sell us bullshit. I think she's still trying to come off as I'm the grand dame. But,
Yeah.
well, even though she says she's retired that title, I think her energy is still giving. I am the grand dame. I am Karen Huger. I am this ultra rich woman, and yes, I may drink sometime. And I think she's blaming it all. She's like on the loss of her parents, which
Oh
is
yeah.
no light situation. But sister, they're saying you were pounding the drinks down even before then. I'm sure this intensified it, but that's what I'm saying. She's not holding any accountability for the fact that she has a problem.
No.
Even if it's not alcoholic, whatever it is, she's not giving any word. She's not owning any part of I have a problem. Something
I
is
have a
going
problem. Yeah,
on
there
with
has
me,
to be.
and
Yeah.
this is and the although they it's a word, it's a noun. Karen need a noun. If it's not alcoholic, what's the noun? She
Even
needs.
if yes, even if it isn't one where I think yeah, there could have been more accountability. I just didn't have a problem with the interview as much because I felt like for where she was coming out of jail right at that time. Okay, fine. That was
He
her first
did
interview.
snatch her up real quick. I don't even know if she was home for
Yeah,
72
it was a
hours.
week. It
He
was one.
said, "Go home, take a bath, and put your wig on. I'm coming over."
But I did not like, I think the real problem was at the reunion. That was months later. And
Yeah.
that's when I was like, "Eek," like you're showing no humility, nothing, like you haven't learned anything. Like you're still, like you said, the grand dame and should be teaching people things. Yes, is it fair to say, Wendy, you probably should shut the fuck up about your case? Absolutely. But acting like you are in a position to tell this person what to do or how to live their life, figure out how to live your own fucking life right now.
And I'm confused as to why you in jail saying you counseling people and mentoring folks when you haven't taken accountability for what you've done in the first place. You can't tell somebody else how to heal and grow and learn from what's going on when you're still right in the midst of what you're going through and choosing to be like, oh, no, I'm fine. You're in jail. Did you hear yourself tell somebody you were Thomas Jefferson's concubine? Black woman, wealthy, accomplished, prominent black woman, Thomas Jefferson's come. Where in the sick, twisted depths of your mind did that come from? You have an issue. Dude, fine if you don't want to say alcoholic. Something's going on in there.
She was drunk off her ass.
But Thomas Jefferson concubine, I've been so drunk I toppled over into bushes before. I've never been Thomas, and on my lightest day, on the greenest, freshest of weed, I'm not Thomas Jefferson's concubine. On the strongest gummy, I'll never be Thomas Jefferson's concubine. Where did that come from, Karen?
So weird. I think I realized then too that she cannot, like everybody has said that when they come onto the show, she's such a mothering figure. And I think that her role in her whole life has been somebody who gives advice. And so I can understand that. So even in jail, everybody's there because they did something crazy.
Right.
That doesn't negate the fact that you might have some wisdom or life experience in another way to tell somebody. Does it make sense to really be doing that and to be telling us here on the outside world? Probably not. Not
Correct.
really. But okay, whatever, sister. If anybody wants to listen to you and take your advice, sure. I just don't think that I think recovery doesn't happen that quickly in that those parts of her, that mothering, always giving advice, that is not going to turn off. She's 60 something years old really quick.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at the reunion, just a lack of humility was really jarring. She came in hot and
I
mean.
think I think Karen thinks she's done with all of this now. Like, and I think that's her notion. I've gone to jail. I've
Yeah,
done my time. We should be. I'm not talking about this no more. I'm not an alcoholic. I ain't got no like. That is in my past, and now I can
hope
go and
not.
tell the story of me overcoming all of these things. Like that's the energy she giving. Like I'm moving on. Even
If
Giselle
she
was
did that,
saying. Even Giselle said like she's done her time. Like as if we should like pack this up and toss it away now. Thomas Jefferson's concubine, people.
I hope that's not her case because she would have so much power in the story of recovery in this
I
next.
agree. But I honestly, I'm curious. I don't know if she really wants to recover. Like, I don't think sister,
Yeah,
she may not drink as much as she used to. Like right now, of course, she's saying that she's sober, whatever.
yeah.
But at some point in the future, if she does decide to drink again, she may not drink as much as she used to. But I don't think. she's not in a space to say I need to be recovering from anything. And even if it's not, even if alcohol is her outlet, it's still usually some emotional things going on that, the core of the issue. Like, why are you drinking? That means she's not just denying the outward expression of it, alcohol. She's also still running from whatever's going on the inside.
Yeah. And I mean, it is telling that her going to rehab. I mean, the denial of not watching the video is cray cray.
I just can't. I don't feel. I feel like as a lawyer, like time she walked in the door one day, it should have just been playing on the screen or something. Like, hey, girl, I need you to be in order for me to do my job adequately. Or maybe they just wanted to collect the check. But in order for me to do my job adequately, we got to be on the same page. We got to know what we're working with.
I totally get it though. Like I'm not gonna lie, I get how that could have happened. I get that someone could have
What?
been in that much denial and have not watched the video.
Well, that's even scarier to how much of an alcoholic she
Yeah, yeah,
truly is then. Because again, your car was smashed up.
yeah.
What was when you woke up the next day, that hangover you had to have had to be super intense, but also something that is normal for it to still not trigger that something terrible happened.
Mhm,
So that makes me, if that's the case, that I only firmly more believe that she is an alcoholic and needs some real help.
mhm. The fact that she only went to rehab after she pled guilty before sentencing. She
And
didn't
it
even know when the situation happened. I don't think she was 100% sober after it happened.
why would
Which,
a
you know,
non-alcoholic go to rehab? And even, that's what I mean. Even if you're going into rehab, you're entering it with the mindset that I'm not an alcoholic. You're going to rehab to really try to help your case and check off a box and make it seem like you're getting help. But I don't think Karen is really trying to internalize any type of life changing information about that would impact her, the reason she drinks.
yeah. Or maybe she's just not ready to not drink.
Yeah, because she's not trying to deal with the reason she drinks.
Yeah.
I see Karen, it seems, and now that she's gone to jail and seemingly been vindicated, I don't think it's giving the
Not
energy of she
vindicated.
never will. That's she fits seeming like she feels like I have like her. I'm done with that. I did my
Yeah.
time. I'm helping other people who could be struggling now. She don't feel like she's still somebody like her. It seems like she thinks that the way she's her part of her active recovery, her lifelong recovery, is now pouring into other people. How? When you haven't really done anything
Yeah.
yourself. But
Yeah, a lot. I think it happens to a lot of people. Like I said, like just learning about recovery, that somebody will have this life-altering moment and situation, and it'll stop you from drinking or doing the thing for a while, and you'll change some
Mhm.
behaviors, and then you deal with it, like you said, and move on from it, and think you can and should go back into it with a different way. Like, oh, I'm only gonna have wine now, or I'm
Yeah.
only going to have two drinks, and that's what you'll start to tell yourself at the beginning, but you have to really make a decision to say, I'm never going to drink again. And I don't think that she is there, like you said. I don't think she said that in her to herself yet.
Mhm. She well, even and that's kind of scary too with the concept. Like, ma'am, you've been to jail. I know,
Yeah.
not like prison. Like Wendy's like gonna end up in prison, but
Yeah.
ma'am, you've been to jail and you still popped out. Like, but what's the concept? What's the real? Not saying jail wasn't terrible, but she went to jail and honestly popped out a bit more famous. Went right back to glam, got right back on TV. So I don't know.
If you have to think about how powerful it is, because she is not the first and she won't be the last person
Hmm.
who jail is nowhere close to enough to
Hmm.
make you stop doing the drug, to make you anything. That ain't that is not it, girl. That's nothing. That's a blip on the radar. That was just a different location
Um,
in her head for a minute.
I'm so terrified of jail.
Yeah.
Must be nice. Must be nice. They would have had me shaking like a stripper. Okay, that's Potomac. Oh, we can breeze on the Colorado trip. I mean, it was
Oh
just a
yeah.
lot. It was just a hot mess. I feel bad for Angel, but at the same time, I'm confused by the overall planning in the first place.
Yeah.
Like for her to say for her to put them so far away was very confusing. For her to make reference like, oh, it's busy season, as if there were no other Airbnbs available. But they plan these things so far ahead in advance. You could have been booked the Airbnb at least closer to you. I mean, it was just a wash in every kind of way. And
I didn't want it to be as bad as it was, but it was
I
so
didn't. I like Angel. I think she's gorgeous. I think her husband and they're cute and funny. I like to see their land in
yeah.
Colorado. What was it? Her business outdoorsy
Yeah.
thing seemed neat. And I could tell she was trying to market that. And
Yeah.
so she wanted them to do all of the things so people could see what it's like and hopefully book. It just
Yeah,
fell
yeah.
flat.
I think that she went wrong from the very beginning, and Monique clocked it too. This is work. You should have absolutely had your kids and your husband
Tucked
settled.
away somewhere. Yep.
You can't, how did you, and that's just like a rookie housewife mistake, I guess, of like thinking that you're also going to be mom and wife while these girls are here ready to scrutinize everything you're doing and you're trying to show your business too, and you got them staying somewhere else. And there's also just like girls trip planning one-on-one. You never are staying in different houses. And if you are, they are not
Why are they an hour? Wait, just logistically speaking, Angel, do you want to drive
live. Yeah.
all that way back and forth, beloved? Every
You
time
think
y'all
that
got
that's
to
like
do
not a big
something?
deal. It's a
I'm
huge deal.
confused. And then you didn't even put all the girls together. You took two of them back to your house. It's just,
Those
uh,
are such small, small, quick and easy rookie things. Like the drive. Like I ask people when they're where they're staying if they want to go to eat. Like so I know how to get, like where they you're talking about driving, like anything can happen on the road that things are going to take longer. Life is, and it's already an hour. If something is maybe 10 minutes away, maybe you could try that. But knowing something is already an hour, you're already giving yourself an hour and a half for
that's
something.
a 2 hour round trip, basically.
Yeah.
And y'all are women who take a long time to get dressed. Y'all be
Right.
running
Yeah.
late. A lot of your activities involve drinking. So even just for you personally, I wouldn't feel like I could
Yeah.
adequately enjoy myself and just kiki with my girls
Yeah.
and have
Yeah.
cocktails because I got to drive an hour back
I'm,
home.
I'm planning on driving home every night. Why would I plan that? That's so stupid.
Probably because she thought she was gonna be at home birthing the babies and putting her bonnet on in bed with her husband. Like it was like, oh, the girls are just here, not like I'm hosting the trip.
Yeah, so that didn't work out for her. I hate that she didn't get to show her business in the right way, but
Yeah,
please, she deserved that disaster. It was hilarious. I thought it was
it
so
was. Giselle was very mean in her like attempted takeover,
yeah.
massive takeover. But then I don't know. Maybe y'all should have let her take over. It just kind of got worse and worse.
No,
And I also the worst part of it to me. Well, I can't imagine not having water, but the last day. I don't know why anybody even agreed to attempt to go fly fishing and have
before
lunch
the
somewhere before the airport. And y'all's flight, it's not like y'all had a 10 p.m. flight or something. Y'all, their flight was at like 2 or 3 o'clock. It was midday. And so if y'all were gonna do any of that, y'all should have been up at like 4 or 5 in the morning. This should have been a breakfast experience. And that still would have pissed me off because now I need to come home and wash off the outside and dirt before I get on the airport and I need to pack and all of that. The day of the last day, we just need to go to brunch and kiki about everything that didn't happen beforehand and then pack our little stuff up and go get on the plane.
I was befuddled. I was so I've planned so many girls' trips with my friends. I just could have never and would never. None of that. None of
Yeah.
that. None of
Yeah.
that.
I was think we were my line sisters and I are taking a Deltaversary trip later in June. And when we were like picking out resorts and things, somebody was like, "Oh, well, what if we do like a one family friendly option and like one, like adults only option?" And it was immediately shut down. Like, no, we're going together. We're going to be together. And so leave your kids and your husband at home. We're going to be together. So I just ain't. I don't. Maybe Angels hadn't been on a girl trip.
That you asked what?
I said maybe Angel hasn't been on a girls trip or something before. I don't know.
It's her job.
I mean, I don't. And also too, I was wondering how connected is she in the day to day involvement of her job of her wanderlust thing? Because for you not to know these locations, or were they new
Yeah.
locations? Like, were you trying to take them to the most razzle dazzly spots or something? How do you not know the addresses or the coordinates? It was just bad.
To get lost on that dirt road was
In
hilarious.
that big old truck, like God was truly with them. I would have been terrified.
Terrified. That
I
was
would have
scary.
been
That was scary.
terrified having to back down a mountain
I
in this
know.
big truck with two other people's lives in my hands. Whoever's over Bravo's insurance policy, I know they was praying that day. Okay, let's see. Our last just random Bravo world points before we wrap things up for the day. Candy and Todd getting divorced at last. At last. It seems that Todd was the scheme that he set up to come to Candy with the bullshit. He himself.
No, this is getting sad. I feel bad.
I feel bad for Candy. I know she really loved him. And to me, it always seemed like he was playing in her face a bit, though. Like, I never liked some of the slick things that he would say.
Mm.
I also have always hated the way him and Mama Joyce has their relationship. Like, there were some times I felt like Candy should have came in and like kind of checked her mom.
Yes, I was gonna say
With the
on Mama
baby.
Joyce's behalf with him. I did not like the way she.
I didn't like their relationship, and lately it seems like they just kind of chilled or didn't have no
Yeah,
relationship. So that's fine. Sometimes you gotta love people from a distance. But yeah, it's just a lot going on with their divorce. Apparently, he was been living in the guest house,
yeah.
which I think is, but okay.
I think it goes back to people don't be having as much money as you think.
Yes. It's like, oh, Todd, but I know you like I know he produces things. He should have enough money for an apartment or
I
something
was,
though.
I was
Like
just
my
like, he
thing,
probably should have
if
enough money for a
you're
apartment.
if you're I understand maybe staying in the guest house for the kids or something, like maybe in the beginning if y'all are just kind of like, hey, we just need some space. And because they do well, I don't know. Candy said he hadn't been around much father
Yeah.
wise. But I can at least see that being like your first excuse. Like, oh, just let me stay here so I can be around the kids, my kids. Okay. But I know he at least got apartment money. Todd got $1,800 a month. He don't need a 3 bedroom. He can get him a 1 bedroom somewhere in Atlanta. He should be able to afford that.
Well, also a big thing is that, like with Drew and what's her husband?
Ralph.
Ralph. The one who moves out of the house sometimes loses leverage when you're in a divorce as far as
Mm.
who ends up with the house and what you have to do, or if you're forced to
Well,
sell.
it's Candy House anyway.
But it is, I was just about to say, but the thing is, Candy bought that house before she married him. So, and I'm sure in her prenup, that house is hers.
In the beginning, when Todd was like trying to contest the prenup, beloved, Bravo got you on camera in 47 different angles, signing that prenup uncontested, going over
Under
it like,
duress, under duress, he said.
yes, allegedly. They got you on there with the lawyer, like, choose a different lie. It's giving Stacey, choose a different lie.
Yeah.
Um, but I hope this wraps. Candy's been looking great though. She's been looking great. I
I
haven't
hate that
seen.
she's saying that he's not being as involved with the kids, especially like even when she has been away. It's like, why do men want to fight to make sure that they are the primary caretaker? And because I believe he's fighting for full custody, but you're not even being fully responsible when you are saying, I'm not shit and I'm away. Then be the full caretaker. She's hiring nannies.
That threw me as well. I'm like, because they're kids. I mean, they look like again. If Todd got to work, I understand you may have to be with the nanny sometimes,
Yeah.
but it seems like when she's away, the nannies are in charge. And you mean to tell me, and you in the backyard in the guest house? Absolutely not. You can at
Like
least
doing what
be.
you want, coming and going as you want, not being fully responsible for their schedules and making it work for both of y'all.
That's why I know he got at least $1,800 a month to get out of her guest house. Um,
You know he loves a strip club.
yeah, yes, he does. He does. Well, strip club lover, fellow Bravo male Peter Thomas has recently made his way out of jail
Hmm.
for all of his frauds and failure of tax payments and things. He's a free man now. I guess yay for him.
Good for him.
He was quite remorseful going into jail. When he made a post, it was like, y'all pay y'all taxes, man. Don't be like me. Sir, that's common knowledge. You decided to be a schemer.
Business taxes too, and he wasn't paying his employees.
And you keep opening up all these big old bar ones. You're not really following the trends of the world, baby. Gen Z barely drinks. Everybody's pockets are tight. People in general are just going outlets. Now's not the time to be opening up some 100-person bar spot. That's
I
not. Why would you do that?
up another. I really hope he doesn't. Because also,
Hopefully, he too broke too. Whatever money you get need to be going back to whatever you got to pay.
you know what he really did? I always thought about when he got arrested. He really messed up those employees because he
Oh
never
yeah.
paid taxes for them. So that means that they never got
Oh.
like their tax returns, or he never paid their employment taxes, which is terrible because then it means that you're just like owing.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
man, I
in the
didn't even
service
think about
industry,
that.
barely already paying taxes. Like I work as a server, you're barely already paying taxes. So like I already owe all the time because I work as a server.
Hmm.
You're getting all your cash generally at night. So
Right.
and then for that person to pay nothing for even your wages that you do make to pay on that,
Oh man.
like you're getting hit with $1,000 tax bills that you have no, anticipation of. So
Mm.
you can't, you're not like he's probably messing up their W-2s and that they're not being able to show income for like buying a house. And if you're in the service industry, you already have a hard time showing income because you're getting more than what is being reported. But then if your job is reporting nothing, then it
Hmm.
looks like you're not making no money or that you haven't had a job for years. And like, I'm just like, oh my God, he really messed them up.
Wow. I didn't even think about that. Great insight. Ooh, Peter.
Yeah, they were
Mm.
talking about the one in North Carolina. I saw some people. This was years ago, but like talking about it. Yeah.
Are they still open? Any of his bar
Oh, I
ones?
don't think so. This was
Okay.
before he went to jail.
Okay. Seems like the Bravo's liberties need to leave restaurants alone.
No,
Because I know Candy has the old lady game, but I think even one of them has closed.
I
And
think
it
the
all
Blaze closed.
the
The
who?
steakhouse.
Blaze. Yeah, I know one of her. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was the one she opened with Todd anyway. So
True.
all right, lovely. Well, we know you enjoy getting the tea about these shows, but we would love to put you in the spotlight. We're welcoming new businesses for advertising. Let us help tell your story and grow your brand. Email the jasminetpc@gmail.com to learn how to reach our audience. And that is going to wrap up today's show. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for joining us today. I hope you had fun at the tea party.
Who doesn't love talking about Bravo for hours on
I
end?
know, I know, I know. Well, we will continue to touch base and see if we can make it to BravoCon
Mhm.
2027. We'll circle back on that.
Yeah.
And then once we get, we'll have to have you back. Once we get the Atlanta girlies on,
Yes.
once their season comes out, once you watch for Married to Medicine again
I
this
need you.
season, circle back and let me know, and we can have another chat about what's going on in the world then.
We'll definitely chat about Atlanta.